The fair is in town. Do you know what that means? For many people, it means good old fashioned family fun. Every year, when the fair comes to town, my whole family takes a trip out to the fairgrounds. There is a ton of stuff to do and see. One of the best things about going to the fair is the food. There are all different kinds of things you can buy from the vendors that set up on the fairgrounds. You can get turkey legs, corn dogs, ice cream, cotton candy, popcorn, and pizza. Just to name a few. My most favorite fair food is something called a funnel cake. A funnel cake is fried dough covered in delicious powdered sugar. I think it is the best thing ever. If you don't want the food, there are lots of exhibits to see. Most fairs have livestock on display. Some even have a petting zoo. One time at the fair, my dad rode the mechanical bull. He didn't last very long. My brothers, sisters, and I thought that it was pretty funny. There are also games at the fair. My mom is really good at the game where you have to throw rings around bottles. She always wins a stuffed animal as a prize. Usually we play the games ourselves. If we don't win, we have mom play for us. Last year, she won me a giant stuffed panda bear. I still have it in the corner of my room. The last great thing about the fair is the rides. There are Ferris wheels, roller coasters, and bumper cars. Some of the rides are scary. My sister is afraid of heights, so she won't go up on the Ferris wheel. I really like the carousel and the giant slide, but I steer clear of the rides that spin.
Brian and Jim lived near a large field. Mr. Brown lived next door. Mr. Brown had a dog named Bob. Bob was a sheepdog. He liked to chase things. Every day, Brian and Jim would go for a walk with Mr. Brown and Bob. Mr. Brown never kept Bob on a leash when they got to the field. Bob would run and make circles around them. He was pretending that Mr. Brown, Jim, and Brian were sheep. He made sure that they all walked just where Bob wanted them to walk. He would gently nip them on the ankles if they went too far outside of Bob's circle. One day, when they were on a walk with Bob and Mr. Brown, suddenly Bob ran off. He went far ahead of them. Then he ran back to them. Bob barked loudly. He was trying to tell them something. "What's wrong, Bob?" said Mr. Brown. Bob barked even louder. He started running towards something. Mr. Brown, Brian, and Jim caught up with Bob. They saw why he was barking. Bob was standing over a baby rabbit. He hadn't hurt or attacked it. Bob had wanted to protect it. He knew Mr. Brown would be able to help it. "Good boy," said Mr. Brown. He patted Bob on the head. He picked up the baby rabbit. It had hurt its paw. "We'll take it home until it's better," said Mr. Brown. "We have a spare rabbit hutch," said Brian. "It'll have somewhere to sleep." They picked some dandelion leaves for the baby rabbit. Then they carried it home. They made a snug bed for it. The little rabbit looked happier. "What a good dog you are," said Brian and Jim. "Thanks to you, Bob, the rabbit will live."